In this video, I will be explaining you forecasting and planning process. First of all, forecasting and planning is not the same thing. Forecasting is the figure that mathematically, statistically you arrive at, whereas planning is the figure that you want to achieve. So, after getting forecasting, you try to fine tune it to get the planning number so that you can run your business accordingly. Now, let's understand what is bulk forecasting. So, first of all, understand what is bulk forecasting and in which situation you will need it. So, bulk forecasting is a situation where you want to do forecasting for each segment, for each product, or each product and vintage separately. Why will you do that? Something like that. So, let me first of all explain you that most of the time high level business follows a common seasonality. For example, Deepavali is a big occasion for purchase across India, and same way Christmas season is an occasion for holiday across India. But there are festivals which are not necessarily that common across India. For example, if you think of Durga Puja, is known for apparel purchase in central and eastern India, which now this particular trend is not common, not across the India. Family holiday and travel, now this will not follow typical October pattern, which is like the Deepavali pattern, that where it will have the peak. Holiday and travel usually coincides with school holidays, so it is usually June or December kind of thing. So this will not picked up usually in October, which otherwise happens in most of the situation in India. Apparel business, again, if you have business which are primarily towards apparel, end of season sale will matter. So that will again not necessarily be October all the time. It might pick up in some other period also. That's where you design very specific small segment or sub segment and you try to forecast that separately. Let me give you some example of sub segment so that you could relate easily. The whole purpose of creating sub segment is that you try to create a group which behaves similar. Like you will believe toddlers behave similarly, adults behave similarly, older people behave similarly. Similarly, you are trying to create cohorts which are going to behave similarly. Let me give you 2-3 examples. In credit card, let's say if at all your purpose is to forecast purchase volume, that what is the total purchase volume going to happen on credit card, then actually vintage is a good segment, because once a product has spent some time, let's say probably after 36 months, all the older accounts will almost behave similarly. Whereas in the beginning, you will have a sizable people getting attracted, not knowing how to use the card or getting afraid or whatever, and closing the card. So attrition and many other things gets affected, and that affects the whole base itself. So usually you like to do vintage by vintage, essentially at least latest 3 years, and all older than 3 years you'll try to combine. Also you like to do product by product, because a product which is like for elite class, a product which is for sub premium class or sub prime population, they will spend separately. A person who is spending 10,000 for the annual fee for the card, his spending will be on the higher side in comparison of someone who is spending 500 rupees for the card. So usually you like to do variant and vintage wise forecast, so that you could get cohorts which are very similar to each other, and you can forecast their behavior, and then you can get the aggregated behavior. In case of manufacturing, you will like to do product and geography wise, because different product has a different demand in different geography. Let me give you example. Room heater will be demanded hugely in northern part of India, where there is too much cold, than those places which are falling on equator like Mumbai or Kerala. So you like to do product by product, geography by geography, how the purchase volume goes. Similarly, in power supply business, if you have to forecast what is the consumption going to happen all month over month, again geography will matter, and again the business type will matter. Geography, why? Because probably in northern part of India, in November, December, probably people will use room heater and they will have the higher consumption of electricity. Whereas if you are on equator, probably you are quite fine with just the fan, so electricity consumption usually goes down. Similarly, if you have to do forecast month over month, if there is a period where the business, the courts are closed for a sizable number of days in continuity, the consumption in business will go down, but not in the residential areas. And that's where you like to do type of business, type of the household, as well as geography wise forecast. So that's how it is giving you some example of sub-segment that you like to create and do forecast. Now the question comes that how do you do bulk forecast? Because if you have to forecast multiple parameters, it's not an easy thing. How do you do such bulk forecast? For that, I will recommend, and not just the forecast, let me explain you both forecast and the planning portion. For forecast, I will recommend Extreme ML, and why I am recommending that will become absolutely clear in few minutes the moment I show you the demo, because probably this will be the easiest to create forecast in bulk. And then next comes the planning, which usually called annual operating plan or growth playbook, or sometimes even MOU plan and all those things. For that I will recommend Excel. And why I'll recommend Excel? Because Excel gives you that kind of flexibility that, but without utilizing or without using anyone, let's say any data scientist or any analytics person, one can customize Excel to that level that a business user can get figure and graph at aggregate level or segment level or sub-segment level by just selection. So you can actually create formulas which are good formulas, smart formulas, and by which they can achieve a dashboard kind of thing, very highly customized for the need. Again, if they want to make some changes, the control is in their hand. They can do it without the need of the support of data science team, and that's how it enables the business to do things faster, sooner, and more accurately. And on top of that, they will know how they are changing. Now let me show you the demo piece, which is like why I recommended you Extreme ML. So here you have data, you have online spend, online users, how many people are using online card month over month, what is the online spend per user. Similarly, how many people are active on POS and how many people are spending, what people are spending on POS month over month. Now obviously this figure is multiplication of this and this, and this POS spend is multiplication of this and this. How many users and how much spend they are doing month over month on an average. Now if you have to forecast, and each parameter one by one will take a lot of time, and that's where I got some feedback when I was presenting to some prospects, and they told that they are looking for some bulk forecasting capabilities, and that's where some modifications were made in the tool. But now let me show you demo directly. For this purpose, actually I will not need many things, and I just need to create overall the count, and let me read this data which I was showing you just now. So here you have the monthly spend, you say everything okay, and let's come to this model parameter for the time series. Now right now we are not looking at all these things because we know that there is no missing, and we do not want to remove outlier here because we just okay with the data the way it is. And now neither we are looking at interactive step by step understanding that how things are happening, so I'm leaving it no. And let me select those things which I want to forecast, like online spend, online users. I can do POS spend and POS spend. I'll not do POS spend, I'll do POS spend per user and POS users. So now obviously I can create online spend by multiplying these two and POS spend by creating these two. Now let me do it that, okay, I am looking at 12-month forecast. Okay, everything's fine, just click on this button. This time I'm not looking at interactive, so obviously I'll not show you every step that how it is happening, but it will do one by one for each parameter. So first it is doing for online spend per user, then it is doing for online users, then it is doing for POS spend per user, and then next it is doing for POS users. So it is doing 4 ARIMA models separately, each model. And then ultimately it has also given you one consolidated time series forecast. So you have all the 4 things taken together. Now you can download, and obviously now you can write formulas in Excel by which you can put something on top of this to achieve the granularity and all those things of the planning by whatever you want to do. In my view, this is probably one of the easiest way of doing bulk forecasting. Do let me know how did you find it. Thank you so much.